Welcome back to Channel 1. Today we're going to be tearing our Scania apart. I'm going to be explaining why this thing has got a ton of rust, and we're going to reveal all that rust behind all these beauty panels and fenders, and show you guys the massive change I'm going to do to this truck to make it half American and half Swedish, Scania, European, whatever you want to call it. So right now, me and my brother up here, we've got this thing running because the batteries are dead, and these trucks run on a 24-volt system. We've got battery cover off, but we're going to be removing the fenders, removing these side covers. This big deck plate's going to be coming off of here. And the reason being is we're going to be cutting this truck in half, literally in half. Somewhere in here, I haven't quite decided yet until I can see how the transmission and all that stuff bolts up to this thing. And we're going to be putting a twin drive axles on the back here out of an American truck. Some people say, well, why don't you import those? Well, I'll explain why in just a moment. So, like I said, folks, I'm going to put a picture up here on the screen that I had a fellow on Instagram. I'll tag him also, drew it up for me. What was in my head, what I had in mind for this truck, right? So, single axle's cool and all, but here in America, we want everything twin drive axles. That's the style here. This truck has got a ton of rust, and I wanted something cool, and I wanted to like make it twin drive. Well, I looked into importing a cutoff for a whole frame from Sweden or wherever in Europe. So like a factory style twin drive Scania cutoff. Well, they're not as common as you think, because most trucks are single drive with like a lift axle just for carrying weight. And the import costs and parts and shipping and all that, I can literally buy a like almost brand new like Peterbilt or, you know, really good quality frame cutoff, which would be the same height frame right here in the US, and weld it to this and have a twin drive. But the only thing that worries me is like a lot of the ABS modules and things like that are going to be different. We're going to transfer all that and make it work. We're going to figure it out. But anyway, you see the screen, the picture on the screen, and that's my vision. We're going to paint it blue, stretch it out a little bit, get some American style fuel tanks on it, get rid of these big huge cover, this deck plate that's on here, and get rid of these huge fuel tanks, right? So these things are massive. So first up today, let's get these fenders off the truck. We'll see about, we don't really need to worry about the back there, because that's kind of whatever. There's a back.
Few holes here.
Yeah, these fenders aren't really doing much of nothing. Look.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, they're just gonna come right off. So,
hey, they're quick release, right?
Well, I think what it is someone's been out here low riding it and stuff, you know, looking cool.
Gotcha.
More holes straight in the fender. I'll put some bolts in there, see? Crazy. And they're kind of broken anyway, so we'll just fold those back. It's got a Yost fifth wheel on it. Get this side folded back. And see, this truck has got like a locking mechanism that used to slide into there and pinned up right here, and this was like this big huge like box that sat on top of this thing that the guy before us used. Yeah, see the fenders, they're pretty much just shot. It's unfortunate too, you know. So
it's not like you weren't going to replace them anyway, right?
Yeah. Instead of doing all this work, we might just grab the torch and just cut that right there. The biggest thing, I'm taking all this off. We're not going to be using any of it anyways because we're doing that different style cutoff. But to show you all just how much rust this truck has from, I guess there's a lot of salt over there on the roads, I'm not sure. So you can just see the amount of like damage this truck has. It's everywhere, it's bad. Sometime soon we'll have us a shop indoors. But for now, this is all we got to work with. And it is hot. I say that in every video, but it is hot in Florida, guys. It is so miserably hot.
And we're just adding heat with a torch to it,
literally.
Too.
Oh, it's miserable.
Hey, at least you don't have to preheat the metal.
Right? There's going to be so many people cringing when we start cutting on this thing. But like I said, this thing is in terrible shape.
I already regret wearing sandals.
Well, there we go. Yep. I'll let that air get out of it.
First time using a torch?
Pretty much.
it gets a little hot.
Yeah. All right.
Did I bring a big enough hammer for you?
Yes, I think so. Ready? Boom. All the rust is falling. All right. Should be able to grab it and pull it out now. You think?
Yep.
There's a lot of tire back there. You don't even notice, man.
It doesn't look that big underneath the fender either until you take it off. Might be a little warm.
Yeah, all this stuff's hot from the sun. Scania parts for sale, on sale, shipped worldwide.
Get one of these melted bolts in our online store.
Right. All right, well, let's see what takes next to get this huge freaking deck plate off of here. Because this thing definitely has to come off. I don't know what all holds it on. I'll go to their side and see. So now a lot of you are probably cringing by now about us changing the color of this truck and getting rid of the big, huge airbrushed murals on the back. Well, we plan to leave this thing on here and just tape it all off as best we can and put blue around it. I think that'd be really cool, and trying to keep something original that was originally on the truck without losing all of its heritage and history, because man, does this thing have so much history from all the photos and stuff that have been sent to me, guys. So let's find out how to get this rack off of here. I think, Aaron, it's a simple, I think it just bolts up right there. I don't really see, that's it.
Yeah, that's the only two
right
connection
there.
points.
So we'll grab an impact. I think we can just unbolt it there, and then all the rest of the stuff comes off. So let's see what we can figure out.
Got the real impact out.
There we go. On the other side, we'll get this plate right off. Alright, we need to cut all these straps loose, whatever the heck that stuff used to hold. That was easy, huh?
It's almost like you don't have a entire step deck to step onto.
I know, right? Random straps on here for no reason. Oh! Oh! That was almost bad. All right, now from what it looks like, this whole system should just come right off. We'll see. It probably won't be that easy, but these glad hands are all junk, so we're going to get rid of it. Oh, we needed that one. Whoops.
Who needs air pressure?
Whatever. Alright, so that folds up like that. I see that whole center section, I think just sits down in the mount. So I think we might go get the telehandler and pick it all right up off of here.
The question is it really that simple though?
It's that easy. That was broken and falling off anyways. Shoot. Alright, maybe we'll get the forklift.
All right. Turn that way some.
Anything connected?
Yeah, you can see. I think you have too much fun with that.
Yeah. Well, hey, it looks like we found some
Rust?
rust.
Just a little bit.
This was what I was wanting to talk. Oh, what is this? Oh shoot, the toolbox I didn't even know about. Oh, check that out. So we knew this thing had a hydraulic kit on it, I thought. It's got an oil tank and a fuel tank. That's interesting. But we're gonna climb up here. Just from the back of the truck, right guys? Look at the airbag mounts. They're just, I'm gonna go get a screwdriver and I'll show them. Check out the airbag mounts right here, guys. Look at the amount of rust that's right here. It is just bad. And you know, the front half of the engine, right? The engine, all that stuff, we will need parts for, stuff like that, but trying to source all these tiny pieces on this whole frame is gonna be an absolute nightmare. And it's just gonna be easier for us just to find a frame that's the same 10 inches, I'm pretty sure that is, and, you know, add some length into this thing and it'll look good. So, yeah, look at this, I mean.
And the shock mount there too.
Yeah, it's bad. So yeah, it's all behind the fifth wheel, all of it. It's really, really freaking bad. So looking at the back of this truck, there's a ton of stuff going on in here, like a lot. And looking at this frame, I didn't notice it. And this frame gets wider, so it's like narrow right here, but it gets wider moving forward, which kind of makes me worry a little bit. I wonder if this frame is narrower.
The whole truck looks narrower
than that, so we need to find a measuring tape. But I think if we stay like right here, because everything up here, the frame, everything still looks nice and healthy, moving forward, and just kind of cut it like right in here somewhere and go backwards with the new one, we can you know, repurpose all these ABS lines and stuff like that and hook all the ABS. Well, it already has an ABS light. I don't think we're that worried about ABS on this truck, hooking it to an American axle and stuff. So but we definitely want to get rid of these giant fuel tanks, stuff like that. So let's get a measuring tape. We want to measure the width of this frame compared to our Peterbilt right here, our American truck, which we haven't really showed our viewers that have been watching the Scania build, our American trucks. Maybe we'll show you guys those right quick. But for now, let's find a measuring tape and measure the frame width compared to like a Peterbilt frame width and go from there. And just to give you guys a little bit more proof of the rust, look right here how bad it is. Like, it is so bad on this thing. It's not even not even funny, like just how much. But up here, you know, it's not bad at all. I mean, we got some corroded lines and stuff we're gonna have to work with, things like that. But like I said, the frame gets wider from like this point onward, and I'm thinking if we cut it somewhere in here, we might can make this work as long as the frame's the same width moving out. So, and we can definitely blend that in with everything, and that won't make us get into too much doing anything with the transmission mounts, things like that. The battery box is completely rusted out and shot. So is the step cover and things like that. So we're gonna end up having to do something to get rid of all that, definitely too. See a little bit of an oil leak there going on. All right, let's measure this frame.
Got to make sure to stay hydrated here in Florida with hot. All this heat.
Another thing to point out, busted fuel tank strap. This thing's just it's gonna look pretty freaking cool with American parts on it, I think. All right, outside frame rail to outside frame rail is 30 inches. Inside to inside is roughly 23 and a half. Let's go check the key.
And don't go scratching the frame of my new truck now.
Ooh, that's a big difference.
33 inches versus 30.
That's a big difference. This is 33 and a half inches wide.
Could you just slide it over the frame?
And then inside width is 27. What do we say the inside width over there was?
23 and a half.
Yeah, big difference. The issue with that, guys, is that the way the airbags, all these different things mount up on the trucks and all that. So we might be getting a little ahead of ourselves. Let's go look at this thing again. All right. Outside of the tire, we're at 98 and 99 inches roughly. We're at like 98 inches, so we're pretty dang similar. It's just that these trucks, the shocks are inboard on the frame instead of outboard. So I think we're gonna have to start looking at is mounting points for the suspension parts on the frames next. So while I do some research on figuring out our frame situation, maybe some of my American friends can tell me where we can find a frame that is, let's measure the width. outside to outside, let's see, roughly 30.5 inches, 30.5 inches. So inside measurement doesn't really matter too much. It's the outside we're really worried about. So 30.5 is the frame width. So we may have to go find some junkyards and go look around, see if there's anything that American that's that narrow. I don't know if there is or not. Because if you think about it, like the engine sits down inside the frame. This one, it gets wider at the front because it's a V8, so it's a lot of differences. For now, let's see if we get these side skirts off of here. You know, we're gonna come up with a game plan. We just ain't figured it out yet. We're gonna figure it out. I think by the time we were to try to do everything we can to try to make this thing as nice as possible as it used to be, I think if we were to make it as, you know, use American parts on the back of the truck, fenders, things like that, and just clean it up, make it look as nice and as good as possible with parts we have here available in the US, we'd be way better off. So that's what we're going to work on. As far as like the cab and body panels and things like that, we'll try fixing those up, making them nice, of course. But for now, oh shoot, that came apart a lot easier than I thought, eh? Check that out. Big old fuel tank is right there. That thing's huge.
It's a good thing it has 3 straps, not just 2.
Just imagine that fuel tank's going, how much space there is right there. Ton. And whatever, these gotta go. Broken that.
Man, these tires still look better than the ones at my last workplace.
Yeah. Shots fired. Alright, so I've taken these fittings that originally hooked up air hoses on the back of the truck. A lot of this stuff's going to be re-engineered for American trailers. It's a little bit different. I welded them shut just because they're old and mismatched anyways. So we're going to hook them all back up and they'll seal off for the time being. This thing can actually get back to building air pressure again.
What you got now?
So when we do end up putting American rear ends in and stuff like that, here in America we don't have something like this. We're going to hook this up with the American rear axles. Check this out.
That's just from the press of a button, right?
That's nuts, ain't it? Isn't that crazy?
Jeez. Fully aired up bags.
Pull the rear bar off. This thing definitely looked like it was cool back in its main days, but somebody hit it right here and bent it way around. It's just never going to be what it needs to be. And like I said, we're cutting all this off, so trying to remove every little piece we can, but still make the truck drivable so we can make some cool videos. So I got some really cool stuff coming up, guys. We've got a tuner, a new ECM. We're going to be servicing the engine, all kinds of cool stuff. So I don't want to make it not drivable yet because we're not going to be cutting this thing in half until we find another shop to work at very soon. So let's get this stuff unbolted.
We couldn't get that one bolt out, so we're just going to use force. No more force.
Boom.
There you go.
Keep in mind, I'm trying to respect the heritage and like the history of this truck as much as possible, and the parts we're removing are just beyond repair, damaged. So please don't get too upset with us, guys, and the things we're doing. Even if we decide not to cut it in half and try to fix this stuff, we're not doing anything that's irreparable or irreplaceable because the bumper is junk. That center cover is all rotted out and junk. The fenders and all that were junk. You know, we still haven't got too far yet. We're getting there though.
And they wonder why their back hurts when they're doing stuff.
Yeah, my back hurts.
Those bags aired up way further than I thought, though. leaked earlier when you stepped on it.
Probably. Look. See the rusted battery box? Rotted out. You see where it's been rubbing on the fuel tank right there? Jeez. Alright, we'll pull the other piece off the other side panel. I guess we can take a torch and just cut this in half, right?
Yeah. Just cut out that bolt.
Actually, I don't have to. Look at that.
Oh, there's nothing left.
Scandinavian engineering. Alright, let's go pull the other side apart next.
Okay, I guess not everything has to be melted off.
This one's gonna have to be melted off. Definitely. Another broken fuel strap. Look at that.
Oh,
So this side of the truck, we've got one strap hole. Just look, Aaron. Another one. I do like how easy they are to remove. That is one thing I will say.
I mean, there's not like any tension on them, so it can't be that bad.
Guess we'll turn that bolt into liquid and get it off there in a hurry. Ow, you hooker. Done. The light's on fire. Hell no, the light's on fire, hell!
Nothing like using a torch right next to a fuel tank.
Wouldn't have it any other way. Well, folks, that's a wrap for today's video. We got a lot of stuff off the truck. We hit it with the pressure washer, and just way more rust is revealing itself. So, and I hear more air leaks happening as we touch and do things with this truck. Next steps are going to be to start working on the engine. We got to do some service work to it, and once we find a shop here in the very near future, we'll be cutting into this thing and really going deep into it. We've got lots of work to do on the 2 Peterbilts before we go to Joplin, Missouri to the G-Bats. We may take the Scania with us if I can find a lowboy to put it on. I haven't decided yet. I think it'd just be really cool for people to see it in person at the show. It's been a hit on the YouTube channel. You guys are coming, make sure you come find us at the G-Bats, at the 4-State Trucks. Should be a great time out there. Did I say Mid-America Truck Show? Not the Mid-America Truck Show. G-Bats, which is in Joplin, Missouri with 4-State Trucks. But anyhow, guys, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below if you have any tips or tricks for us on this here Scania truck. And we're looking for a 30.5-inch wide frame, American frame with twin screw axles, lockers, all the 9 yards. Let me know if you find one. See you later. Peace.